Okay, looks like we got stream delay. All right, now they're off.
There we go.
I'm just gonna refresh just in case.
They're a few seconds apart here with the delays between the restreams, but we're gonna sort it out in a second. But starting off here in Cap Kingdom. If anyone's played through this game casually, you know this is kind of where they teach you the controls, like L is move, R is camera, Y is jump, here's cappy. We don't really care about that at all, so we're gonna blaze through this kingdom. Even though it's only really short, 2.5 minutes, one of the shortest kingdoms in this run, there are still a lot of optimizations to be made.
Yeah, it is known that Cap Kingdom is the hardest kingdom in the game to speedrun, so many runs die here. It's a pretty big run killer, I should say.
Nice move into the switch for both runners. Both nailing that triple jump dive. Samurai, I'm a little bit faster, but then again, it's not going to matter in this hour-long race too much.
Now, coming up in top hat tower, once both players capture the frog, they're going to do a trick called frog vectoring, which gains you a lot of distance compared to just moving normally with the frog. If you shake the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller while you're facing one direction, and then when you're in the air, you turn another way, the frog actually goes farther, and I don't know how exactly it works, but it does take you farther. Looks like Samu's going for right side. Nicro's going for left.
Yeah, ooh, spicy.
And he missed it. Yeah, what he's supposed to do there is get that triple jump, which takes him up the topper about a second faster than right side, I believe.
Yeah, one of the hardest jumps in the run found pretty recently, which is why most runs die in Cap, but makes it up with a really nice topper fight, so only a few seconds behind here.
Yeah, if you mess up any inputs on left side, you will miss it. Like, as you saw, he slid on the wall a bit too much. Even if it's just for half a second too late or too early, you will mess up. Looks like Samu's gonna get 228 cap, and Nicro's gonna get 233.
Yeah, but this cap is 223, so they both lost a few seconds there.
Yeah. 223 by Zio. He's the god of early game.
Coming up with Cascade Kingdom here, capturing a Chain Chomp, gonna break apart this rock to get our first Power Moon. It's actually possible to skip this moon entirely on early versions, or on all versions I should say, but the boss trigger is only active on the first version of the game. It was patched out day 1, so you won't see that happen in any percent, as you can only access it on a physical copy, but it is possible.
Alright, now Samu bonk, this could decide the race. No. Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but at the same time I'm not, because bonks can waste up to like 5 seconds in this game. I have seen runs being lost to just a random bonk somewhere because they lose so much time. If you're really tight on a PB pace run and you bonk on Bowser's or Moon Kingdom or something, it could theoretically kill your run.
And both runners here getting Dino Skip. If you've seen speedruns, you've seen this skip before. It's used by almost every runner. Saves a lot of platforming. Just gonna get to that boss trigger early using the Dino Trampoline. Saves around a minute, so pretty free time save coming up to the Mad and Brutal Chain Chomp fight.
Looks like Nicro messed up a bit on the second hit for Mad and Brood. What you're supposed to do is stand as far away as possible and then throw your cap so that when it comes back it hits the chain jump immediately, and you can just move forward a bit and take her out instantly. It's a really hard boss fight to do fast.
Still only 7-ish seconds apart, and going back to talking about bonks and losing time, each bonk animation completely stops your movement. And so it's a 1.9 second animation, but depending on where you bonk in the run, just if you have momentum going in, if it's just a messed up jump, if you're going to bonk and die from the bonk, you can lose anywhere from 3 seconds to 45 if you bonk on the Lost Kingdom jump, for example.
Yeah. Both players beat the boss, but they are not done with Cascade yet because they still have one more moon to get, because Cascade is very limited on moons before you beat the boss. At least fast ones.
Yeah. Before you beat the boss, there are 5 moons existing in the kingdom. It's possible to get 4. One of them is the Warp Painting Moon from some other kingdom I can't recall off the top of my head right now. But it's just floating on an island in the sky. If anyone's played the game before, you'll know what a Warp Painting Moon is. It's just sort of like warp pipes in Mario Bros. Just teleport between paintings, and the teleport spots are usually up in the sky. And so we have no way to access that moon, but we know it's there. So maybe in the future we'll be able to beat Cascade without fighting the boss, but not now.
Alright, coming up is Sand Kingdom, which could be pretty big in terms of route differences, because there is a clip that you may have saw Nicro practicing, which is Sphinx clip, which, as we talked about earlier, utilizes roll cancels. It allows you to clip into the Sphinx's loading zone, so you don't have to answer his question. But there's also a different way you can do it, where you go a bit to the left, so you avoid the loading zone, and you can get the moon hidden in the quicksand area, where you normally have to sink for a bit, and spam jumps to get back up there. And you can do that, and then do a few cap bounces to get back into the Sphinx's area. It's a pretty hard trick, but hopefully one of these runners will be able to pull it off pretty quickly.
Yeah, but other than Sphinx clip, we shouldn't see any route differences between these top runners, because there are a lot of advanced and beginner Sphinx or Sand Kingdom routes. As it's really open world. There's a lot of routes that different runners will do in the 110, 115, 120 time sort of zone. I don't know, but since both these runners are top 5, we'll definitely see them go for the same, if not almost identical routes.
As you saw in the ground pound moon that they got very early on in Sand Kingdom, they both buffered a spin ground pound, which is actually faster than a normal ground pound, because even though you do have to spin jump, Mario descends faster from a spin jump. If you buffer that out of like a dive or anything really, it will save time over a normal ground pound.
Ooh, Nico's going for the dram strat.
This will be interesting.
Damn,
Oh, I didn't
unfortunate.
get it.
It was aiming.
Ridiculously hard strat.
Called the dram strat, discovered by Dram55 himself. I'm supposed to keep that cap stalled up there as long as possible to try and recapture the bullet bill. Insanely hard, and surprised he went for it, but we'll put him behind another couple seconds here.
Luckily, they were both able to get the bullet bill manipulation. Alright, now, coming out after this moon lost in the luggage, this could be where the route differs, because one of them can go for Sphinx Clip and the other couldn't, or they could both just go for Sphinx Clip and see what happens. Let's see. Does look like they are both going for it.
This could put one runner in front of the other easily here. See a couple bonks, missed attempts from both. Nicro gets the clip, but does go into the Sphinx loading zone, so he's still gonna have to go get that flowing sands moon. We'll see if he tries the clip again or just goes around the wall. Not completely sure what he's gonna try and do.
Double Sphinx Clip, let's go. He is going for it again. Samu getting it. Nicro still struggling a bit.
There we go. He's got it.
That's pretty scary. If you land in that area and you don't know exactly what to do, you could fall and die, which would be very unfortunate because you don't get any checkpoints in Sand Kingdom if you do the correct route. So you would restart all the way back to the Odyssey.
Yeah, looks like someone in chat said that it's actually faster to do 2 Sphinx clips if you get the clip first try both times. It is faster by a second or two, but as you can see, pretty hard frame perfect trick, so really not run safe and really not marathon safe.
It looks like Nicro is ahead because Samu did take a bit longer on his Sphinx clip than Nicro did on his 2 Sphinx clips.
Yeah. Looks like chat's also mentioning that the bird might be screwed up for Samu, and you'll see for Nicro, he's going to hit a bird here. That's completely dependent on your cycle once you leave the Sphinx clip room, and so...
Barely gets that. Jeez.
Oh. Both going to get the cycle. There we go.
Now, the difference that Sphinx Clip makes is, one, it's a route change in the sand. If you don't do Sphinx Clip, then instead of getting the bird at the Oasis and warping to the Odyssey, you would get the bird at the very start by getting the overlooking the desert town moon and then waiting for the bird. And then after getting the ground pound moon at the Oasis, you would go up and get the notes on the tree. You would just go to the Odyssey instead of warping to it. And also, if you do Sphinx Clip, there's a lot of coins in there, so you can go to Snow Kingdom first. As if you don't do it, and you don't have enough coins for snow, which is highly likely with the routes we do, you go to the Seaside first, because there's a moon there that gets you a lot of coins.
And both runners finishing up sand. Nicro looks like he's around 8 to 10 seconds ahead, but finishing up sand around 11 minutes and 30 seconds. For put it in perspective, a good Sand Kingdom time for both these runners would be just around 11 minutes. So both behind their PBs, but stuff happens during races. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, Nicro has a 104.20, which is world record, and Samu has 105.43, which is 6th place. Lake Kingdom doesn't really need much explanation. It's super duper short, and none of the moons are really that interesting. Except for the Rango fight, but nobody likes Rango.
At least you don't have to fight him on ice.
Yeah, back before the roll clips were found in World Peace and Darker Side, and other categories that brought World Peace to Snow Kingdom, you'd have to fight Rango again, but this time with ice physics, and it's a very difficult fight unless you're somehow a god at this game. But now that roll clippings are found, you get to do Bound Bowl race early, so that it just eliminates Rango entirely, and his moon is just sitting there.
One cool part in Lake right there is cheap jump from Nicro. We'll see Samu do it right here, but skips like one P-switch, which I guess you could consider story progression, but it's really not much.
Both players doing the Rango fight now. Nicro gets a very solid fight.
So does Samu. Just a couple backflips there. Most of the
yeah, it looks easy, but if you mistime any of your backflips, you'll take damage, and Rango will bounce around on his hat. Super frustrating. You can either be the easiest brutal to fight in the early game, or hardest.
Nicro's still ahead. Not much room for mistakes in Lake. You don't see that happen too often. Looks like he's ahead by around 8 seconds. Is my educated guess. But we're about to approach Wooded Kingdom, which some runners would consider one of the hardest, if not the hardest kingdom in the 90% route. There's a lot of precise movement, and we could easily see Samu take back the lead, or Nicro extend his lead even further.
I still think Luncheon's the hardest, but...
For me, it was always Bowser's. I could never do the mech fight, and still with like a 111, I still struggle.
Alright, now a little optimization that was found recently at the very start of Wooded. There's a rock here that Nicro's gonna pick up, and if he runs into the bunny just right with it, get the moon, and then throw the rock and break it with the other one. And that saves time over an older strat where you would just catch the bunny, looks like Samu's doing it, and you pick up that rock, and you carry it to that one, which breaks it open and gets the moon. It saves about a second or two, it looks like.
And they're both buying a moon here, and for those who didn't know, each kingdom has a shop where you can, or each major kingdom, I'd say not Cloud, not Ruined, not Darker Side. They have shops where you can buy moons from those kingdoms, and as long as you have 100 coins, they'll sell you a moon, and so it's actually pretty fast to do so in the route.
Yeah, in the first visit to each kingdom, well, just in any percent, before credits, you can only buy one moon per shop, but once you beat Bowser and beat the game, in the post game, you can buy as many moons as you want.
And
which makes 100% very frustrating.
And Nicro there messed up a triple jump to get to that nut and messed up the cliff climb, so I had to default back to the up route there, so lost a little bit of time making this an even closer race.
Now coming up is probably the hardest section in Wooded Kingdom, the flooded pipeway with all the fuzzies. There is a safer strat to do here where after you get the first moon you do a damage boost to get up to the second moon. Both of these players will go for the damageless strat, which is much harder.
When you do take damage, moons are nice enough to heal you up back to full, but there is a 2-second cutscene associated with that, and we don't like that.
Oh, Samu barely misses it. Yeah, the fuzzies can be jerks in here.
Right there is that healing cutscene where he's talking about, but really hard section, unfortunate he messed it up, so gonna put Nicro with a little bit big of a lead here.
Now, keep in mind that it took Nicro up until to get this far ahead of Samu, and even then he's not that far ahead. That just proves how much time Cap Kingdom can lose some runners. Because these players have both been playing pretty equally in skill, aside from Sam Kingdom, maybe. But because of Nicro's mistake in Cap, he was like 7 seconds behind for the very start of the run.
Nice nut shot there from Nicro as Samu approaches the front of the plant.
Oh, Nicro falls.
Really nice
Clutch
recovery
upward
there.
saves
Yeah.
the day. Alright, now coming up, Nicro's gonna do a pretty big jump here by doing a roll cancel to gain some speed and then doing a triple jump over that fence. And he does get it.
There we go. Yeah, definitely a hard trick, and if you miss it, you'll die. Put you back at that moon you just got, but still painful.
It's like Samu's going for the long jump because he missed up the roll cancel.
That was a really
Luckily,
smooth
he does get it.
Yeah, that was nerve-wracking, but smooth back up to only lose a couple seconds off of that.
Back when we didn't understand how exactly that trick worked, and we did like a long jump for it, it was thought to be, why would you do this trick? It's ridiculous and only saves a second. Because taking that flower road isn't as slow as you might think it is. So back when we originally did the skip, if we did it, it only saved a second, but now that it's gotten a lot easier with the roll cancels, it saves about like 2 to 3 seconds.
Both with nice tower climbs. Nicro's starting up the Spewart boss fight now, as Samu's about to get there himself.
Spewart is by far the easiest riddle.
just jumping and jumping, but we'll actually Nitro using a little bit of an advanced strat to try and get the boss off in one hit, using a cap thrower there to hit the boss's hat off first, and then being able to one-shot him. Saves 0.4 seconds per cycle, but it's worth it.
Now, as you can see, both runners... Well, I don't know if Nitro does, but Samu already has enough coins to go Snow Kingdom and buy the moon there because he did Sphinx Clip. If none of them did Sphinx Clip, they would probably have about 50 coins at this point, or maybe even like 30.
Nitro's got 95, so he'll definitely be good enough for that moon and snow.
Alright, and now that the Odyssey is restored, we can go to Metro Kingdom, or so the game makes you think you can go to Metro. Because we get interrupted by our good friend Bowser here, and we have to fight him.
We're gonna skip the cutscene though, so no spoilers, obviously. We don't want to spoil you guys, so that's why we're playing in Japanese and skipping all the cutscenes. Definitely not because Japanese is the fastest language and watching cutscenes is slow. It's definitely because no spoilers.
Still remember, a couple days before the game came out, there was a leaker who was streaming the game. There were a few people watching it. They thought we were finally going to Metro, and then Bowser showed up. And we got even more hyped. Yeah, Bowser's a pretty simple fight, even though there's some kind of hard tricks that have been recently discovered for him. Where you take the hat as Bowser throws it at you. Normally we would wait for him to throw the hat at us and then hit it from afar. But now we can just hit it as he throws it, and it's much faster. It takes about 11 seconds over an optimal fight using the old strat.
Yeah, for some reason Nintendo gave the hats huge hitboxes, and we're not complaining. Let's just get these hats faster.
Hey man, some of the viewers might be blind, you never know.
That's the point of commentating, Ascarioli. Yeah, we're also trying to cater to our new audience here.
Even though literally every single person on the planet was probably watching Valu and Shaden run this game.
Necro messing up that lost tree jump there. Unfortunate, but gonna play a safer strat here. If you haven't seen runs, again, something that if you've speedrun this game or watched speedruns, you'll definitely know about at this point, but this is not the intended way Nintendo wants you to go through this kingdom. You're actually skipping a boss-ish trigger. Klepto is what we call him, and he'll actually steal your hat, and that's really slow. So we're actually going to climb the side of the mountain, skip the trigger entirely, and in a few seconds you'll see both runners run up to him in his face, brag that we have our hat and he didn't steal it. He'll get mad, but he won't try and steal our hat again, because he knows we're better than him. So,
if you throw Cappy at Klepto when he flies away, he will actually take Cappy. I've had that happen before, and it's frustrating.
It's definitely unfortunate, but looks like both runners doing it just fine. So.
Yeah, these guys are filthy cheaters and not playing the game as intended, getting their cap stolen.
That's unfortunate. Necro missing triple jump.
I'm behind
going for a really hard cage, yeah. But
yeah, if you die there on that cage moon, it can waste a ton of time, and that's why the safer strat is to get the moon inside the iron cage, which. Oh, Nico's struggling a bit. Which for the Iron Cage moon, you just have to do a ground pound, and there's an entrance open for that moon. as with the Cage Moon, if you want it to be faster, you have to actually like do a super hard strat, getting up to the cage and grabbing the moon as the guardian or whatever that thing's name is blows it up, and it's super hard. Yeah, Samu does take the lead after lost.
Oh man, he dies again on the bridge there. Not too bad. He should be able to snag it here without having to go around and re-trigger Klepto, but still just the more time lost, really unfortunate. Please don't trigger Klepto. Alright, that's good enough. Definitely take that death there. And to add a little bit of salt on top of salt in the wound
pile
here.
Luncheon.
Yeah, salt in the pile. He's not gonna have enough coins, so I don't know if he knows about the dumpster in Metro that gives 50 coins.
I just go to Seaside first.
Yeah, I'll just go to Seaside first.
All right, Dark Metro is probably one of the hardest parts of the run because there's a lot of tough and super fast movement that hopefully Samu can pull off pretty easily. And one notable thing about Dark Metro is City Hall, which is coming up very soon. And then the Mecha Wiggler fight, of course, which everyone knows about.
Yeah. Everyone's saying rip in chat. Still only 46 seconds. Missing a cycle on Mecha Wiggler is easily 25. And messing up City Hall could be easily another 20, so... Definitely not over yet.
And Nicro gets the big jump at the start. That saves about a second, but...
Yeah, he's gonna need to go for it.
Samu getting a very good City Hall so far.
Oh, Nicro with another bonk. That's...
Nicro going up on the roof, which... Oh! Yeah, going up on the roof there is a tad faster. I don't know by how much.
Ooh, Nicro with the bonk.
It is faster than...
And Samu dying in City Hall, so both runners look like nerves are really getting to him.
Oh no.
Very unfortunate. Nicro's gonna have a little bit of time to catch up after that death at the very top of City Hall. So, race is definitely not over yet, guys.
Stream is really loving the buffer for me.
Samu gets that second try. Definitely not what he wanted, but he's still going to be a little bit ahead of Nicro going into Mecha Wiggler. But Nicro closing the gap, even though he did mess up bonk on that jump and mess the following up after the moon. I'm going to save time after Samu's death, but Samu's starting.
Yeah, seeing as Night Metro has been going for both of these runners, don't be surprised if at least one of them messes up on Mecha Wiggler. And speaking of which, Mecha Wiggler sucks. Really stupid boss.
One of the 3 parts in the game I can think where there's RNG. In this and then the White Hat and the Bowser fights. And in those fights it doesn't really matter, but here it's a pain in the butt. You got motion controls, you got tank overheating, you have Mecha Wiggler randomness, you have the game dropping inputs sometimes, and all of that just combines to be not a fun experience where even top runners can mess up Mecha Wiggler.
Yeah, I feel like aside from missing 2 cycle, obviously the most frustrating part about Mecha Wiggler is the tank overheating and recharging. Because if that happens...
Commentators curse Samu missing second cycle. We'll see if Nicro can nail it. If Nicro can get it here, it'll put him in the lead. And he does.
He gets it.
Instantly, this race has switched once again.
God. This is crazy.
Samu fast 3 cycle though. Only gonna put him behind a little bit, but what a crazy race so far, and we're only halfway through.
I really wish I wasn't behind because I heard you talk about Samu missing it. Like, wait, no. Okay, now coming up in daytime Metro is right off the bat, they're going to do a little trick where they hold Cappy in front of an electric power line, and then once they grab the moon inside the girder, they're going to shake the controller, which makes Cappy go onto the power line. Immediately after that, both of them are probably going to go for a scooter clip, which completely skips over capturing the RC car guy. I believe it saves about 6 seconds.
Necro hit it first try there.
Nice.
Really well done. Yeah. I'm not sure who discovered that, but the controller inputs are pressing left while your controller is practically flipped upside down. Same with choking a little bit, but he gets hit. And Nicro with a really nice strat there to capture that pylon a little bit earlier.
Mine's on the wrong side of the bench.
We're still on the bench. It's close enough.
Metro has probably some of the weirdest moons that a lot of people would probably not expect to see in any percent. There's a lot of dialogue, but they are fast. Like the bench moon and the two musicians.
There's been a lot of route discussion for Metro, and we haven't found anything faster yet, but a little bit of a side note.
I believe when people were first starting to route the game, which is like the craziest era of Odyssey speedrunning when routes were changing every hour, like it was insane. But when Metro was first starting to be routed, someone actually incorporated jump rope, like the first 30 jump ropes into any percent, and immediately after that, people were like, "Nah, this can't be fast."
City Hall climb. You'll see runners do differently, but it looks like Nicro's going off on that climb. Oh my god, that was crazy.
Yeah, if you jump off the pole or tree or whatever you're climbing and you throw your hat and dive back on, it is faster than shaking the controller to climb, which Samu seems to be doing. Nicro entering the crowd room now, which is home to two very fast moons, which involve running over a bunch of pedestrians. Or at least hitting them.
Ooh,
oh,
it's a bonk there, yeah. I've bonked there a couple times. Definitely the first time it happens.
That's a pretty common bonk. Because that wall, you don't really expect it to be thick enough to bonk on, but you can literally bonk on anything in this game. It's ridiculous.
And you can bonk on nothing sometimes.
Now Nicro is going to go talk to Pauline so that he can spawn the musician text boxes. And soon we'll be coming up on the greatest moon in the game.
Ooh, gets a bonk on the table there from Sammy. That's gonna put him a couple more seconds behind.
Yeah, coming up is the infamous OTEP.
OTEP. All the Metro Kingdom NPCs are people, and so they say these weird, made-up language words, but
it's the Sims language, we all know this.
The shopkeeper in Bowser's Kingdom, I've heard a couple of people say that it sounds like he says, "I just want to die," when you talk to him in Bowser's
But he also
Kingdom.
says OTEP, so that doesn't matter. Alright, seems like Nicro will be going to Seaside first, I'm not sure. I forgot how many coins he had.
It didn't look like he was collecting any extra after those deaths in Lost. Hopefully we'll see him go to Seaside. If he accidentally clicks snow, that'd be unfortunate.
Why is that even a meme? Well, I ate your pie, that's why.
Yeah, so around 15-16 seconds of separation here, but as we saw in Lost and Metro here, that could easily change, going from 45 seconds ahead for Samu to 15 seconds behind for Nicro.
Yeah, don't underestimate Seaside. Stupid kingdom. Anything can happen here. But Samu is actually going to snow first, so we won't really be able to see the difference between these two guys. Up until, like, near the end of Snow Kingdom for Nicro.
And in both of these kingdoms, we actually don't do the story progression at all. We do a little bit of it in Snow Kingdom, but we won't get the main story progression as it's just too slow.
Yeah, in Snow Kingdom, despite the pre-World Peace state being in a blizzard, there are actually moons you can get in the outside, including Captain Toad. But Captain Toad is the only fast moon we get outside in any percent. All the other moons are gotten inside or in one of the dungeon rooms. Micro getting the hardest notes moon in the game. I hate this moon.
I've definitely messed it up more than once. It is a lot harder than it looks, and that is not a joke.
Now he's going to capture the Gush in here, which is fastest above water travel, but he's only going to use it once, and now he's just going to use a Cheep Cheep for the rest of it, because Cheep Cheep is so super fast underwater.
And the shaking thing he's doing is pressing Y and B at the same time to get this little spin. It's actually only faster for accelerating the Cheep Cheep, so it's not necessarily...
Okay, wait. Guys, I need you to be quiet for this moon, because don't tell anybody about it, but it's a shortcut, so don't tell anybody. Alright, Nicro's gonna get moons that you guys can tell people about, because they aren't shortcuts.
Looks like Samu messed up his ground pound jump there in the breezy room. He's gonna have to go the long way around. Not too bad.
You know, that joke doesn't work because they're not playing in English, so people don't know the moon names.
The moon name is called it's a shortcut, but in Japanese it is also called that, but we can't read it.
This is why Japanese is stupid and shouldn't be faster, because we can't make jokes about moons.
I definitely got the joke. The co-commentator definitely got the joke. I did not say anything, but I've played this game in English before.
Yeah, let's just ban Japanese. Everyone play in Italian.
Yeah, it looks like Samu's having a nice Goomba room. It's actually it's possible for those Goombas, even though it's not in their normal code, I guess, but it's possible for them to just walk off the ledge, and it will commit suicide, and you will have to take an intentional death in the room, which is really
we don't support Goombacide here, so we're just gonna keep them alive. Right, I'm sorry, Nicro entering snow now. So it seems like it's still pretty hard to tell difference between these two, but it seems like they're still about 20 or so seconds apart.
Yes, commentators do have the chat open.
Chat's the best part of these races.
Samu actually, he was going to enter the boss room, or the Rango refight room in Snow Kingdom, get the secret moon, and leave. It's actually the fastest moon to get.
Nobody likes Rango. Odyssey chat is better than GDQ chat, honestly.
In this chat, we can actually read the messages.
Alright, Samu just now leaving snow, but he still has to do seaside, which is about 3 minutes, so it'll be the difference at the very end of snow for Nicro.
Yeah, snow's actually a minute, around a minute longer, minute and a half than seaside. We're done optimally for both of them, just because the moons available are slower than seaside, even though there's 10 moons that we need to collect in each.
Nicro getting a really good poison room there. Getting the ground pound jump boost off of that wind is super satisfying to watch.
This chat, there are non-subs in this chat. Does not ban Force and emotes, does not ban for Poggers. We're a non-sub mode, emote-free chat. Or, not emote-free, emote banning free chat.
Odyssey frees the plebs.
Samu messing up on the seaside cliff room a little bit. It's actually 3D, as this entire game is, so you could mess with the depth perception there.
Oh wait, no, there are 2D sections in this game.
I did forget about that. That is accurate. There are 2D sections in this game, but that's one of the fixed camera 3D sections, and so depth perception is a little rude sometimes, but a little bit of a recovery there.
Nicro getting a really good Goomba room there. So far, this Snow Kingdom is very solid.
Yeah, we can't really tell how far apart they are right now, but
once Nicro leaves snow, we'll be able to tell.
Guess right now around 30 seconds. Nicro just about to leave Snow Kingdom, and Samu's collecting the last couple minutes here in Seaside, so they're both going to be moving on to Luncheon Kingdom. At this point, I'd wager around 35 seconds.
Alright, Nicro entering Luncheon now, which probably grab some food for this one. Unless you already have popcorn, because this race is fire right now. Nicro is ahead by about 30 seconds, I think.
EGAHBH. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but coming in clutch with chat. 42-second difference.
Okay. Yeah, Luncheon is pretty much the lava kingdom of this game, sort of, because there's pink magma. I don't know what kind of food or drink that's supposed to represent, but it is something. And now Nicro starting the free fight against Spewer. Super easy, like always.
Nice spirit fight from Nicro there. Same as the first one. Just the arena shape is different, so if you're not doing the fast strats, it'll be a little bit different, but not going to affect us at all. So, same easy strat as before.
But yeah, Luncheon can definitely be one of the major run killers. Aside from Cap, Lost, and Metro, this is the hardest kingdom. I think this is the hardest kingdom out of all of them. It's like tied with it.
Yeah, I'd say Luncheon, Bowser's, Lost for some people, Cap for some people, but mainly Luncheon. Necro with a 6-spin ground pound there. 6-spin ground pound to get up there just a little bit faster.
Now he's gonna do this little triple jump here to break open the box and wall kick up there. Get the moon. And then he's gonna do the only gold turnip moon that we get in Luncheon because it's right next to the pot that we throw them in. But that's not the last we'll be seeing of turnips in Luncheon because there's a special little trick we do with it.
Yeah, discovered recently by our awesome people in the Discoveries channel in our speedrunning Discord. There's a cheese skip.
Nobody even knows who discovered it. So sad. There's like 10 people upload the video at the same time. Looks like Samu going for a bit an older strat for the crate moon, where you throw the cap and then you shake it so that it homes in on the crate from above. That was discovered by Valu a long time ago.
And a hot fork zoom there from Nicro. Insane up throws.
Oh my god.
Crazy forks there. Really well executed.
I'm very glad that forks are faster than the lava ball room because forks are fun to watch.
Gets those fast Potato strats there and coming up on cheese skip. Just gonna grab this turnip for reasons explained later. And it has to be the golden one. Just kidding, that was a joke. For those who don't know how this skip works, but it looks the coolest when it's the golden. And it looks like he got the Kobe.
Oh.
I think he got the Kobe.
Maybe. Let's see.
Ooh, he didn't. I don't think he was confident. So he I don't think he was confident in that.
Dang.
But it
Might have the hammer, bro.
Might have been a Kobe. But still gets a second try.
Yeah, basically, how that works is you place the turnip in a relatively close spot to the cage, and then you uncapture a pan bro. Which is just the Luncheon version of Hammer Bros. Because they throw frying pans for some reason. You uncapture one, like in between the turnip and the cage, and then because the game doesn't know where to place the pan bro, there's like no room for him. It just puts you in the cage if you move forward. It looks kind of precise, but it's really not once you figure out a good spot.
And it looks like Sam is a little bit ahead, but he's actually does the magma room instead. It's only a couple seconds slower, but he's a little bit more comfortable with it, is my guess. So we'll get to see both, which is nice.
Yeah, Samu didn't do cheese skip because I think he's a bit rusty on his any percent strats, but all the other categories he's very good at. He pretty recently got a minute off of Darker Side world record today, so that's pretty cool.
A minute ahead of world record, or a minute slower?
Now, a minute off. He got a 328.
Oh, nice.
Micro now getting the easiest multi-move in the game.
There's actually a... Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say there, but it's one of the easiest, because you kind of just capture the meat, and then it gives it to you.
For some reason, the game trolls you after you grab that multi-move. Oh, Samu almost died there. Yeah, the game likes to troll you after you grab that multi-moon because you worked all that time to get to the top of the pot and grab that just for the bird to blow you back off. And you have to climb all the way back up and fight the bird to get the next one, but it's slow, so we're leaving Luncheon. Now coming up is Bowser's Kingdom, which is pretty kingdom to say the least. Just kidding, the game hates us, so we're going to ruin instead because Bowser has a dragon.
Second time Bowser has cheesed us. The first time it was with his ship, the second time it is with his dragon.
Yeah, some people like to call this Skyrim and others call it Dark Souls.
But it's one of the easiest bosses. There's a couple fast strats you can do to make it faster, but it's basically an auto-scroller for top.
Yeah, it's an auto-scroller. There is a strat though where you damage boost on the dragon, and if you do it right, you'll stay on top of his head, and as soon as your invincibility frames wear off, you'll be able to throw your hat and hit the keys on his head. People are saying Nicro is 52 seconds ahead, so he's got a pretty big lead going into this fight. But Bowser's Kingdom could change everything. Don't underestimate the mech fight or the two Brutals. In my opinion, Topper and Harriet are harder than the Mecha Brutal.
You think so? I don't know. I guess with practice.
Mainly Topper, because Topper sucks and nobody likes him and he's awful.
Topper's a pain, yeah.
Harriet's not as bad, but I think the Mecha Brutal is easier than them both. But we're not there yet, let's just watch the auto-scroller fight.
Good time to talk about some stuff, so if anyone has any questions, throw them in chat. Yeah, still got Topper, still got Harriet, Mecha Fight, 2D Skip even, maybe. Moon Skip.
Shout out to that Textro guy. I don't know who he is, but for some reason he wants me to shout me out.
I've heard of him. Maybe
probably a big loser who doesn't even run the game.
What's our? Someone asked what our favorite food is.
My favorite food is meat with Mario's hat on it.
Mine's pizza. I love I'm eating pizza right now. I have pepperoni. What's 2 plus 2? But you must use Common Core math. Well, using the commutative property of addition, we can see that it's 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths. More serious question I saw someone ask, explain the cheap boost again. Going in a straight line from one point to another across the entirety of Seaside, someone timed that it's actually like 0.1 seconds faster to boost the entire way, but they cut it down, so they trimmed off the first half, or like the first few seconds, to cut down on that acceleration time from startup, and it's actually the same speed. So that boosting gives you a faster acceleration, but once the I don't know, I have to stop that. Looks like Necro's controller disconnected there for a second.
Yeah, for someone who asked me, I don't like pineapple on pizza. Cheese is okay as pizza. So. Tuck Twitch, honestly. I don't like Twitch's opinions on pizza. Yeah, Nicro's entering Bowser's Kingdom after that controller mishap.
Sneb asked, how was the
Starting
order?
off with some...
Sorry. Go ahead.
Starting off with some pretty sick Pokio-less movement.
Someone asked how the order of players in this tournament was decided. Well, everyone signed up, and then they seeded people once signups were closed based on current PBs, which was mid-November, I want to say. And they were put into 32 groups of 4. 2 of those were groups of 3. And the top 2 runners from each group were then put into a bracket stage, and that was seeded based on wins, and then tie broken based on total time in all 3 races. So Nicro had a couple 109s and I think forfeited his last race, so that's why he's seated low, and Samurai is seated high, which is why they've met up so early in the bracket. Yeah.
Cody's asked what our any percent PBs are. They're worse than these guys. No. I have a 108.20. When Feinberg, you can say yours.
111.46. I haven't ran the game in like a month, and I don't know if I will again. I don't know, but I love keeping up with stuff.
All of my PBs have been in tourney races, so I'm pretty much gonna win this tournament. So these guys don't stand a chance if I keep PBing it, honestly.
And Bowser's is pretty straightforward kingdom, actually. Just a couple sections of platforming here, and then we got a couple mini boss fights with the Brutals. A little bit more platforming to get to the Mecha, and that's about it. One of my favorite kingdoms, casually. But we do actually have to collect 2 extra moons, plus the 6 we get from story progression. And so, both runners either go for behind the big wall, behind the wall in the main courtyard, and on top of the wall after the moon shards. Choose 2 of those 3, as you please.
Yeah, now Necro is... I am so sorry. Necro is... I've said Necro for so long at this point, so... Nobody ever told me how it was pronounced until now. Yeah, he's heading into the brutal fights now, which, as I said, in my opinion, is the hardest part of Bowser's Kingdom. Starting off with Harriet, the easiest of the 2. All you have to do is jump at the right time and hit the bombs back at her, and then jump on her head. And one interesting thing about Harriet, she always moves in the same path when she goes into the UFO phase. So you can just home your hat on the bombs and wait for them to drop, and it makes it a lot easier. I used to think it was random, but I realized that it was the same path.
Yeah, so we manipulate that a little bit, but... that first Harriet fight's actually insane kingdom, but we don't do that as it's slow story progression.
Now Micro moving on to the hardest brutal in the game, in my opinion.
I think Dark Side Topper's harder, in my opinion.
Whatever. in any percent, he's the hardest.
Yeah.
The last time we saw Topper was in Cap Kingdom, in which he only had 3 hats, but now he has a lot. So you have to make sure you get the timing right on the jump, or else it'll be kind of tough to find him. Luckily, both runners get very good Topper fights, as seen by Samu.
Samu actually went for Topper first. It really doesn't matter which one you go for. You're going to have to do both anyways, so it's runner's choice. I like switching it up in my runs sometimes. It doesn't really matter.
Someone's gonna figure out that Harriet is faster by like 5 seconds or something. I just know it. Going this game. Yeah, now Nicro is starting off the final climb up to the boss of, like the true boss of Bowser's Kingdom, the Mecha Brutal.
And really nice movement for behind the big wall. Nicely done.
Yeah, that moon was discovered to be faster, like, the same day that the Pokio capture strat was figured out to be faster with the behind the wall moon. But they're relatively the same speed depending on how good you are at each moon. So it's really just preference.
Yeah, and climbing this wall really fast with the Pokio's motion controls, and I'm really mad at Odyssey for never explaining what motion controls do for like half of the captures at all. So some of them it says on the bottom like shake to extend beak further or something, but it does not say that for the Pokio. So I was a very confused speedrunner my first week. I was like, how are they climbing so fast? But if you shake, it'll launch you straight up.
Oh, coming up is the hard fight. Oh, easier fight. By many, it's the hardest fight in the run, which I can see why it's ridiculous what you have to do to stay on top of this thing. As you saw, Nicro just did a really cool strat called Birdless. Normally you'd have to wait for a bird to spawn, so you would blast the bombs back at the leg and knock it down. But with really well-timed backflips and jumps and cap throws and whatnot, you can get on top and hit Spewer, and it allows you to get back on top.
And with that really nice mecha fight from Nicro, he's gonna finish it up there. Nicely done on Birdless, nicely done on Cycles, no major mistakes.
just as Samu is entering the fight, so got a pretty big lead. So unless something really bad happens on Moon Kingdom, seems like Nicro does have this win.
Samu went for a really risky
Oh,
first
and he
hit,
got it, dang.
and I don't know where he is right now. Oh, he took damage somehow. I think
He cooked through them.
Yeah, I think
Cooked through the mech.
in the
he
mech
hit the
and
rainbow legs.
still somehow stayed on. That's crazy.
Clipping through the mech used to be like ridiculous. Like, what? How does that even happen? But if you run towards the very front where the bunny head is, while it's charging at a wall, you will clip through. But you're stuck in the middle of it, so all you have to do to get back on top is backflip. So it's pretty easy to save nowadays.
I've never
It
seen
has
someone
happened to a
actually.
few people on world record pace before, and the chat just lost it, wondering what just happened. But
I've personally never seen anyone clip in and somehow stay on. I've always fallen off when I've clipped in a couple times, but it was a really nice fight. He went for a fast second hit, got it, and the clip didn't actually lose him time as he still has to wait for those cycles. So nice fight. Probably saved a couple seconds there, but Nicro's gonna have to mess up big for him to lose this race.
yeah, the third part of Mecha Fight is an auto-scroller because there's no way to influence how fast or how slow the mecha runs when its legs turn rainbow. You just have to let it do its 3 cycles and then it'll return to the center. Alright, Nicro entering Moon just as Samu is finishing up Bowser's.
And throwback to Cap Kingdom. Remember frog vectoring the first minute and a half? Yeah, there's moon vectoring too. But for some reason, when Mario does a jump, and it looks like he actually messed it up there a little bit, but when Mario jumps, or I guess as well as the frog jumps, the maximum distance he can travel is actually defined as a square around Mario instead of a circle. And so if you jump and then move at a 45-degree angle to where you jumped off, you'll actually get the most amount of distance. So that's how vectoring works.
Coming up is one of the most well-known skips in the game. This was actually discovered like day 2 of the game being out. It's pretty crazy how fast people found this.
I saw the Sphinx and
how
I saw the
obscure it
walls, and people started figuring it out. But yeah, for some reason, the game thinks those walls are parallel, and so Nicro entering the final stage of this race here. We got
Does get first try. Samu doing some older movement on the moon, but it's alright. It's not too much slower than vectoring, considering Nicro's vectoring wasn't the best. Now, Nicro entering the final Bowser fight. It's pretty much the exact same as the first fight, except Bowser has more hats, and the first hit is a little different because he throws the hat at you immediately.
He's also got this auto-scroller stuff.
Oh yeah, he shoots fire.
It's really dangerous, but it looks a lot bigger than the hitbox actually is for some reason.
The hitbox is ridiculous. You can just press B when it's like right next to you and you'll jump over it. Stupid.
It looks like he messed up that backflip there, so it's gonna give Samu a little bit more time to catch up, but at this point I'm not sure if it'll make a huge difference.
I really hope he knows that if you mess up that strat, you have to do it from far away. Okay, good, he does know. I mean, I kind of want him to not know that you can do that to make the race closer, but...
A little bit of a choke from Nicro, but only a few seconds. They're both on the same Bowser fight coming in, so still really close, but... Gonna go for the same strat here for the third cycle. He's got it. Samu gets that strat on the second cycle, so it's gonna save a little bit of time over Nicro.
And imagine if Lost Kingdom and Metro didn't screw... Well, if Lost Kingdom still happened, but Samu didn't screw up a Metro, This race will be so close because of Nicro's late game. He played very well in Snow and Seaside. He'd probably only be ahead by like 30 seconds or so.
Someone asked why you have to go for it from far away. Because when the hat hits you, for some reason, the hurt box gets a lot bigger. So you'll have to default to the backup strat.
You could damage boost and just hope you get a heart, but not really worth it.
Nicro coming up on the I think the only 2D section in the entirety of the 80% run. And it's the hardest. Yeah. We'll see if he goes for 2D skip. For those who know it, you know how hard it is.
Yeah, hard. Yeah.
We'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
Oh my god. It used to be something that runners were like, this
he's got
is
massive
insane,
balls,
nobody's ever
and he's done it. Holy crap. Massive balls in a race like this, a 37-second difference. That does lose around 45 seconds, and as you guys can see, he would have been behind Samu if he died, but Nicro's got all the balls. If you're a subscriber, get some Conways in chat for that 2D skip. Damn.
Really not that hard. But yeah, good job.
It's like, not hard, but I guess risky in a race setting is how I should rephrase that. Because it's not a super hard, but you don't really want to throw away your race lead for 2D skip. Because it's got...
Alright, if you start singing this song, I'm leaving the call, by the way.
I'm not. I gotta really resist myself here.
It's a good song, but not good enough to sing on stream and make yourself look stupid.
Maybe if I could hit the notes, I would try it, but... Nicro getting a really nice final pillar in, actually. He got the 5 fireballs on the right for the quick pillar, but... Not much can go wrong here. I've seen exactly one run die after on this brick, but don't think Nicro will mess it up. Ending with a final time of 106.42.
Nicro, please done. Oh my god. No, he hasn't done on SRL yet.
I don't know if he knows how to use SRL.
Oh,
hopefully he'll do it before the 106.55.
If Samu wins, it's because Nicro didn't done. Samu wins the race. No. My god, that's... Well, on SRL, Samu won by 6 seconds, but Nicro won the race for real, so...
That's funny. I'm not in the room, so I can't tell, but... Samu 107.22, didn't look like he stopped his timer there. I think he was trying to get the dot done in. But, yeah, 107.22 is what it looked like, so... 40-second difference, really decided there, lost in Metro, but...
Yeah, that was still a really good race between these two runners, considering... Samu is over a minute behind Nicro's PB, and they only finished 40 seconds apart. That's really good. Let's just hope the speed gaming mods know what they're doing, and they don't give Samu the win.
Alright, we'll see if we can get the big boys in chat, or in the voice, is what I should say. We'll see.
GG to both. That's a very good race between the two. Looks like Nicro is moving on. I don't know who his next opponent is because I don't have the bracket.
Hello, Samu.
Will be eliminated, unfortunately. Sucks that he had to be knocked out super early because Nicro played poorly in group, but...
Looks like Samu's joining us here. Talk about your run for a bit. What do you like, what do you not like? Definitely little bumps, but let's hear it.
I don't know if I have to explain anything.
Yeah.
Can't hear that one.
It's a little quiet, but yeah, unfortunate, just mistakes in Metro there. Dying in City Hall, 3-cycle Mecha.
Even with that death in City Hall, you still were ahead. Really close race, if not for the dumbest boss in the game.
Yeah, chat's saying your mic's a little low, so if there's a way to turn that up.
It shouldn't be.
Oh, there you go.
It's definitely much better now.
Much better now.
If you want to talk about some stuff now, you can go.
Nah, I don't think I have anything to say, especially that Metro Kingdom just made me sad.
Yeah. I mean, you got a darker side PB today. You can be proud of that, because that's a really good time.
Thanks.
Unfortunate that you guys had to meet so early in the bracket, but
Yeah, if this was like in semifinals or something, it would have been much less heartbreaking for one of you to get knocked out.
definitely more of a semifinals, grand finals race, but that's how seeding works, unfortunately. So we'll see if we can get Nicro in here for a quick chat. But again, congrats on the 107. Still a great time, and without those mistakes in Metro, would have had it. It's a little unfortunate there.
Yeah, the fact that you only finished 40 seconds behind, that's really not bad considering how far apart your PBs are. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Doesn't seem like Nicro is gonna join us, but we'll wait a bit longer. I'll ping him in chat. There he is.
There he is. What's up, Nicro?
Can you hear me good?
Yep.
How about that Lost Kingdom?
Dude, I kind of forgot like how to play the game right there. I was like, wait, remember, you know the old route that instead of going, what do you call it? You know like the old way we used to like jump up the cages and stuff.
Yeah, where you take the tree instead of the
Yeah,
like the cage instead of the tree.
I remember that like halfway doing the other thing. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I think
when I saw you mess up Caged Gold, I was like, ooh, yeah, this is close now.
What else? I know, like my mid game was good, late game was good. Other than, I don't know, there's just like a few little mistakes here, but yeah, most of the run was like decent. Just lost was like obviously.
Major time loss.
Did you get any golds in that run? Because Snow Kingdom was super good.
I think Snow like would have been a gold, but I had to skip it.
Oh yeah, because this gets splits 2 sides.
Yeah,
you should go.
Because the lost. Yeah, because I died twice on lost, so that lost me like 20 coins, sorry, something like that.
Yeah.
I had to go to Seaside, and then that messed up some stuff.
Yeah, congrats on the run. That's as I said many times. That's unfortunate that you guys had to race super early.
Yeah, that definitely sucks. GG's to Samu though.
GG's, Nicro.
It was fun. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing really much to say, but thanks. Shout out to the Conways, of course. They always come out strong. Love yas. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Thanks for hosting.
So for a Wii Sports tournament anytime soon, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Coming back real strong for Wii Sports.
Yeah, but I think with that, unless the runners have anything else they want to ask us, or Chat wants to ask anything, that should wrap it up.
Yeah.
Follow both runners. Nicro is the Wii Sports god who occasionally runs Odyssey, I guess.
And yeah, my true speed game, the true athlete I am,
is Wii Sports Bowling.
Yeah.
And Samu is a very good Odyssey runner, preferably on the longer categories. He's been going at it with those.
Samu's got a godlike any % time, but he goes beast on darker side, stuff like that. So if you're looking for longer categories, definitely drop him a follow. Nicro, world record holder 80%. A little bit of Wii Sports too, but definitely follow both runners. I'm assuming if you're watching already, you're already following Speed Gaming, but if you're not, do that. They do so much work behind the scenes to set up the restreams and get commentators and everything.
Also follow Feinberg because he's a good commentator.
He's a Feinberg for sure.
I don't
Is there
stream
any
as
way we
much.
can kick people from the call?
I've gotten that
All right,
like a million
peace,
times.
guys.
Yeah, see ya. Good
Thanks
running,
for,
guys.
Thanks for chilling.
Good luck with the rest of the bracket.
Good luck, Nigro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and follow me on Twitter. I mean, yeah.
Follow Aman Twitch. He runs the community. He's awesome. And
I am literally the Odyssey community god, so yeah. Don't respect me, you're banned.
But with that, that'll wrap us up. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Ame, if you got anything, speak now or forever hold your Conways. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gone. I'll probably become a Conway someday, but for now, I'm signing off.
And with that, we'll be off, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.